Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Weekly Manga Drops. In this episode we're gonna be talking about vampires. Yeah, that's right. Talking about vampires. Don't worry. We ain't talking about no disco ball vampire or anything like that. We're talking about the real vampires. You know, the ones that that's not the right picture. God damn it. No. We're talking about blood-sucking vampires. Not flashing vampires that go and show their disco balls to all the people. Seriously, man. Get with the program. I mean, what was the deal with Twilight anyways? It was like a vampire that could glitter in the sunlight. These guys that turned into... Were they werewolves? No. Something about shapeshifters. Man, that movie left me confused. I mean, what's the deal with Twilight anyways? Now, vampires suck. That was a good movie. I liked it. It took everything from the movie and completely turned it into a satire. Man, that was a good movie. Anyways, enough with the beating of the dead horse and let's get into the show already. So this week's weekly manga drop is Seraph of the End, also known as Owari no Seraph in Japanese. So the series basically takes place in a dystopian future where basically the world has been taken over by vampires. It all started with like an outbreak of like a disease which only affects people that are around age 13 and plus, mostly causing death within, well, more or less hours within getting it, allowing the vampires to easily take control of the rest of human society and basically use humans as cattle? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they pretty much let them wander around that much, but it's almost like not the ancient. It's like the royal hierarchy system, where you basically had like the vampires are like the nobles or something, and like the humans are like the peasants kind of thing. Something like that. And each human has to give a certain amount of blood per day or, well, they'll be promptly killed, I guess. The series goes around and a lot happens. You basically start off with just a group of orphans who believe that basically the entire world has been wiped out and they're the only ones left behind. Because from the attack on their city, basically they're the only ones that actually survived. I mean, it's not far-fetched to think that. I mean, from the logic of a child, that makes sense. Well, you don't even need the logic of a child. Any other person would be thinking the same thing. They'd be thinking, well, if this happened to our town, who's to say that's not happened to the rest of the world too? As it turns out, it mostly happened to the rest of the world as well. Though the whole disease thing was more or less a gray area. We're not entirely sure how much of the disease is actually true or not. Although most people around them have died from the disease, so that does make sense. That disease is real. But it feels more like just biological warfare, in all honesty. It just made them more easy pickings. As the story progresses, you have this group of orphans that end up actually escaping, and one of them has always dreamed of, like, well, killing all the vampires, because to him, they are the prime source of all of the orphans' suffering. Which, when you think about it, is kind of true. I mean, all in all, they're not really mistreating them that much. I mean, they are their precious source of food after all, but whatever. It's a shonen. Don't look too much into it. Anyways, the main character ends up escaping and all that and joins up with one of the only resistance corps around, which is the Black Demon Army. I think that's what they're called now. Dude, I barely even remember. It's not that they weren't important, it's just that, I don't know, a lot of stuff happens and you don't even know who to trust anymore. This thing's throwing more curveballs than the freaking M. Night Shyamalan movie. And that's saying something. But, well, it's a... how do I explain this? It's a good series, in all honesty. I mean, I'm not entirely sure what happens after a while, because in all honesty, I kind of stopped after chapter 40. Because my phone crapped out on me. I used to have this program, it's called Zingbox, where you could just download whole chapters onto your phone and you can just read them. And now it's, I don't know, it just doesn't work so well. Like, I have a bunch of chapters missing after chapter 40. It just like skips all the way to chapter 100, and I'm like there, and I'm like, I feel like something here is missing. Just a hunch. Just a teeny tiny hunch. But one day I'll get around to reading the rest. But there's also an anime for it as well. Though I really haven't heard too much about the anime. I guess what they say is no news is good news. No, that doesn't work with anime. If there's no news, then that means the anime is bad, right? That's what it usually means. I think it's a 2012 anime, so it's actually pretty old. Well. So after joining the Black Demon Army, he ends up making a lot of comrades, shall we say? No, it's not that he ends up making... No, he actually makes companions, because at first, he's actually really bad at working with people, which is understandable after all the betrayal he's been through at the beginning. But steadily, he starts making some companions, and they become his comrades. Or comrades in arms. As they all become all of his friends basically become a platoon that, well, is used in the art of war, obviously. But a few more twists happen, and later down the line, oh man, it's so hard to keep going and not say and not spoil stuff sometimes, you know? I mean, in all honesty, I enjoy doing these little things. These little weekly manga drops. But the script writing, well, in all honesty, writing the script is the hardest part. Everything else isn't all that hard, really. You have to organize your ideas and all that. Oh, this is the actual only time I'm actually going deep into how it, well, what it takes to actually make an episode. You gotta find the right manga. You can't just be like, oh, just grab a manga and then just talk about it. It's fine. It's good. Whoever's listening to it will like it. Everybody's happy. That's so not true. Because a lot of the time, whenever I just do something without a script, it just turns out bad. Well, it's not that it turns out bad. I just find that my ideas are all over the place, and I'm already not that great at explaining stuff in the first place. A script just makes it easier. Anyways, the truth is, even though I have a script, a lot of stuff goes into it that's unscripted too. You have to have some element of realism in what you're talking about, right? Like this whole section that I'm talking right now, this was not scripted. This is just straight from the heart. Anyways, Seraph of Then End, yeah. It's a great manga. I quite enjoyed it. It's got all your regular shonen tropes, and it's got quite a few twists. It's kind of like what's that one called again? The Promised Neverland, in a sense. Oh snap. Well, no, not exactly. The Promised Neverland is next level. The twists and turns that happen in that. Oh man, The Promised Neverland is something else. Never have I read a manga that actually kept me on the edge of my seat every single chapter like The Promised Neverland did. Oh man, maybe that'll be the next. Maybe that'll be the next manga I talk about, cause, whew, The Promised Neverland is so dark for a shonen. I'm surprised that it's made it as far as it has. The reason why I didn't want to talk about it so much is because there's only like 30 chapters, so I kind of wanted it to get more of a running start. This isn't the right place to use this. Well, whatever. Anyways, check out Seraph of Then End. It's a great book. It's available in English. You can buy it at Chapters, actually. Chapters or your average bookstore, really. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I don't know, check out the other channels that are available on this channel. It's an old buddy that I used to play MapleStory with. I don't play MapleStory anymore though. Kinda got bored of it. No, it's not that I got bored of it. It's that the drop rates are just ass. I can't get the equipment that I want, and so I gave up. It's not to say that I gave up right off the bat. I've been trying to get these equipment for the last 6 months, and all I had to show for it was just the weapon, which ironically drops much more easily than the rest of the equipment. Can't get the gloves, and I've already invested too much into my equipment. I mean, most of my equipment are already in the unique bracket anyways. So I'm like not even far away from getting to legendary, but I can't switch to the next equipment because the next equipment's level 150. And the equipment I'm using to pair off to the level 160 stuff is already level 150. It's like a never-ending circle. It's a dream. It's not a dream. It's a nightmare. Anyways, enough of my rambling, and let's finish this episode already. I've talked way over what I was supposed to. I actually went on a little rant about MapleStory. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Check out the channels that I have posted up here somewhere. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put them. Wait, why am I pointing places? I don't even have my camera on. I don't even have a camera in the first place. Anyways, God bless and have a good night.